What's going on, everyone? Nick from Comic Culture here. It's time for Nick at Night, my weekly comic book review show. Let's get into the books I read this week. Starting over in Marvel, we have Hell Hunters issue number 4. This is a really fun book, man. If you want to see some demonic presences take over a whole Nazi army and then take on some of our best heroes like in the field in really gruesome ways, this is definitely the book for you. This book is gruesome. It is action-packed. Bucky is like the star of the show right now. The dude is twisted and insane. Love that characterization. Love his team up with this version of Ghost Rider as well. And the spirit of vengeance, man, he is imbuing everybody with some powers to take on this demonic Nazi threat. I am all for it. The art in here is spectacular as well. The writing is really smooth. I'm loving everything that's going on inside of Hell Hunters. Make sure to check this series out in collected format if you can get your hands on it or catch up. It's a really fun read. Issue number 4 is out this week. Let me know if you read it. Next up, we have Phoenix issue number 9. Not a bad issue. There's a couple issues now that have been kind of meh. This one's actually not that bad at all. We have Phoenix kind of going into a hibernative state after taking on Thanos with his new amulet and things like that and some other forces that she's been dealing with. She kind of buried herself in a little bit. She's introspective and now she's busting out of that cocoon in a new way. You know what I mean? Like, this is the next upgrade of the Phoenix, whatever that might be. I will say, I'm digging the outfit, man. It's got like a cosmic radiating kind of a feel to it. It's black. It has a void vibe as well, but I'm really digging that outfit. But I will say, like, the enemy that she's taking on is somebody that's new to having some kind of cosmic power. She's on that negative side of the spectrum, you know what I mean? And these two are going to be clashing right now. So we have the Phoenix, this like eternal, everlasting, forever force taking on this newer kind of a force, although it's kind of a negative version of it, I suppose, in a way. And she's kind of struggling, which is interesting. It's like, wow, I didn't really think that she could be, messed up that easily given her new power set and everything. So there's a little bit of weirdness going on from that perspective, but I'm digging the book overall in general. So if you're not reading a lot of Marvel books, this was one that you might want to dip into, but issue number 9 is all right. So let me know if you're reading this one down below. Jason Aaron on Absolute Superman, we have issue number 5. This was a really great book. Usually I don't really like the Krypton flashback stories in this run. We have 5 issues. We're bouncing back and forth to the origin and destruction of Krypton, essentially, and what Superman is doing in the Absolute world right now with Lois Lane and all the other ancillary characters. This one is really showing the climax of what happens to Krypton, those early days, right, of the destruction, who's saved, who's not, how they're getting off, all the political nonsense that's going on around the destruction of the planet. And of course, it's the destruction of his home world, so there's going to be some heartbreak, there's going to be some twists and turns, some nail-biting moments in here. Great artwork as everything is kind of going to hell. I will say it's really reminiscent of Kara Zor-El's origin story because, you know, she hung around a little bit longer. She was probably 10, 12, 13 years old when Krypton was destroyed, and she had to witness all that stuff. Further expanded on in Tom King's Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow run. Very similar thing happening in here, albeit it's a little bit different. He just gets to escape and just witness everything, but he's the same kind of age. So it's really weird that the Absolute Superman is really Kara's origin story, in a way. With that said, I'm having a great time with this book. Great scenes inside here, great action pieces. They're doing a really wonderful job with this one. My second favorite Absolute book out, Absolute Superman number 5. Let me know if you read it. Jeremy Adams on Aquaman issue number 3 with that great Frizzen cover. Man, this is actually a really cool story. It's all about prophecy. It's all about fulfilling one's destiny, and we're learning what that is as we go forth. Aquaman is out of Atlantis right now. He's in some foreign world. He's teaming up with some allies that know a lot about like the creation of mythical weapons and some of the mythology going on right now. We have some deep cut villains and former allies coming into this book and like ruining the day, which is really cool. We have Arthur learning a little bit more about what exactly is going on, like who's responsible, who's behind all of this, so it's unfolding in a really satisfying way. The artwork continues to be really strong as well, and like I said, it's got a lot of cool twists and turns in it, and it's putting our character in an interesting situation surrounded by interesting ancillary characters, and I think the story is just being handled really well. This book also has that oh crap hook at the very end, so it's got you, man. It wants you to read issue number 4. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Number 3 is out. Let me know if you're reading it. Continuing DC with Damwater Sherman on Dark Patterns issue number 4. Great book. So the first 3 issues were all about the Wounded Man. We've wrapped that up a little bit. The next 3 are going to be about Scarface, and I cannot wait for that. This is a new evolution of the character. I am so pumped up and ready for it. It's incredible. There's this building right now that's been taken over. There's some innocents in there. There's some gang activity in there too. There was a cop that was killed. There's one being held hostage. Batman has to infiltrate because that's what Batman does, and he's learning the deep dark secret about what this gang actually is and what its connection is to Scarface, and I am all for it. Just a fair warning, it is over the top, it is insane. How does it work? I don't care. It's Batman. That's where we are with Batman right now. Completely nonsense, but I'm in for it, and it's incredible. Issue number 4, Dark Patterns, is out. Let me know if you picked it up. Dennis Camp over on Assorted Crisis Events issue number 1. This was a spectacular read. I got an early copy of this about a month ago, and I have been loving this book. I read it a couple different times. There are so many nuances inside of here. It's a crisis event told in an anthology perspective, so you're going to be featuring this little girl right here. She's trying to go about her life. She's essentially by herself, trying to get to work, worried about like the artifacts that her family's passed down to her, but she has to coexist in this world that is going through all these crisis events in a way. It's very metatextual. There's this time warping thing going on as well. These time variances that pop up. People from all different kinds of cultures throughout the timeline are coexisting and mingling together. And there's this like melancholy that's completely saturated throughout this entire book that just makes you feel sad for the character, but also excited to be in the world that she's in at the same time. Like, that would be an interesting existence to be here, but it's riddled with anxiety, despair, and this overall stress of like your inevitable demise. So it's a really interesting combination of emotions that this story takes you through. The artwork does a crazy good job of pushing you through the story as well, manipulating the panels and moving your eyes in the appropriate ways. Really, really great book, well presented and everything. Assorted Crisis Events, issue number 1. Highly recommend this one. Let me know if you read it. Jeff Johns, Geiger, issue number 12. Really great book as well, man. We're teaming up with the Nuclear Woman. We're trying to understand our power sets. You know, do we need our rods to really control all that radioactivity inside of us? What does it mean to evolve into the state where you can control that? Can you forgive yourself? Like, what are the demons that are preventing you from getting to that spot? That's what this story is all about. The Nuclear Woman takes us on this revenge mission, so to speak, right here, so that Geiger can kind of put to rest some of the demons of his past, thinking that will help him calm down and be able to put himself in control finally. We did that, and we're also learning some of the dark secrets that she has that she hasn't quite told everybody yet. Like, we knew this was probably going to be too good to be true. I won't spoil it for you, but there's some stuff that we don't quite understand about her just yet, and we're going to be unpacking that very soon. But Geiger issue number 12 continues to be one of my favorite Ghost Machine books out right now. Let me know if you guys are reading this one. Daniel Warren Johnson, Riley Rasmo, Mike Spicer, The Moon is Following Us, issue number 7. I love this cover featuring Daniel Warren Johnson's rendition of the shark on a spear. The shark spear. Crazy, crazy stuff there. Although the father's weapon, which was the car seat for the infant in the back, busting heads with that thing and becomes a fastball special, so to speak, in this issue. Man, chef's kiss for sure. So it's a Daniel Warren Johnson book, so you know it's going to be chock full of emotion and family drama and just insane artwork. Riley Rasmo is doing a great job of matching his style and his pace and just the look and vibe of Daniel Warren Johnson, but there's enough differences there to really make their own parts of the book shine, which is great, and Mike is doing a great job coloring both sides of it. Really well done on the art side. I'll tell you what, the emotions really crank up inside this issue. Specifically at the very end of this book, we learn something about the father. We're dealing with the mother's emotions right now and how she can help combat maybe the overall mental state of their daughter. And the mom is kind of on that path right now, but the father has to catch up, and he's having to deal with some really dark secrets as well on full display towards the end of the book. And man, it is paralyzing at the end, literally and figuratively. I'm excited for issue number 8 for sure. Moon is Following Us number 7 continues to push the envelope on the emotional impact that these characters have on their daughter. Man, let me know if you guys are reading this one. Continuing Ghost Machine, we have Redcoat issue number 10. This is an awesome book as well. Man, we have Annie Oakley on this one, and she's actually traveling town to town, performing all these feats of strength with her weapon. Of course, Simon Peer runs across her while on his random travels and everything, and they kind of hook up a little bit, showing off some of their skills. He's been around for a while. She's just really well trained. They're a really great pair, taking on some local threats as well, saving the town and everything. But it's the banter between them and the inner monologue that Redcoat has right here, his feelings towards her and the heartbreak that it inevitably leads to towards the end. It's the combination of those two characters. They're so well written, and you just want them to get together so bad, and it's just really fun to see. Brian Hitch doing some of the work of his career, I think, on here, man. We have Andrew Carey as well, and Brad Anderson on the colors and lettering and everything. Rob Lays on that one. It's just such a well-packaged book. I could read this forever, just watching this character go from town to town, meeting all these really interesting characters throughout mythology and American history. I'm loving everything about it. I almost don't want him to catch up with Geiger and everybody else. We have a hint of the Northerner. He's been around a little bit at several of the issues now towards the very end. At some point, they're going to get together. Not sure when, but issue number 10 is out. Let me know if you read it. Transformers, Daniel Warren Johnson again, Jorge Corona and Mike Spicer again. This is issue number 18. Transformers is one of those books where it just never takes its foot off the pedal. It is just in your face, action, heartbreak, drama on both sides. You think the Autobots are in the clear and the Decepticons are winning. They flip the script every other issue, just kind of increasing power on both sides, introducing new characters. The tide is constantly shifting back and forth. New leadership on the Decepticons' part coming up every 4 or 5 issues, it seems. All the betrayal and the backstabbing that happens on that side keeps everything really fresh from the villain perspective. Now we have Megatron showing back up. What is that going to mean for the overall book itself? Well, I think it's going to be leading up to a pretty epic run going into issue number 25, I think, when D-Dubs falls off, and I can't wait to see more of that. We have a brand new character in here as well, featured in the previous issue, going ham, man, and I am all for it. Hasbro, do the right thing, man. You got to put out a toy. I will buy it instantly. Transformers number 18, though, it's more of the same, which is great and awesome and exciting. Let me know if you read it. Robert Kirkman and Lorenzo De Felici on Void Rivals issue number 17. This issue gives you so much backstory on Cybertron and its connection with the Sacred Ring and everything like that we've seen inside of Void Rivals. We have the Quintessens or whatever and like their role and everything. We have some heroes that were shown in there and like how they try to step up and take on the evilness throughout the whole galaxy. And it puts all of that into perspective. It makes sense of all of it. And now we kind of flash forward to our present day Void Rivals timeline anyways. And we get to see how the players of today are all connected with all of that legacy and that drama. And I cannot wait to see like all that unfold a little bit and then get mixed into our current day Energon universe with Transformers and G.I. Joe and everything. It's like, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I am all for it. Long-term Transformers fans, let me know if all of this stuff about the like Cybertron and everything was already known, or are we building new stuff here? Are we expanding on this universe? Are these new things? Let me know down below. I'd be really interested to see what your thoughts were, how you took all of this and how it fits into your greater mythology that you know. Really excited to see your guys' thoughts. But Void Rivals number 17, it's a book that's getting better and better, I think. It was kind of like a, back end of the Energon stuff for me, but I'm becoming more and more excited for the series as we go on. Number 17's out. Let me know if you read it. Well, guys, that's everything I read this week. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you read and what your favorite books of the week were down below. While you're down there, like, subscribe, share, hit that bell notification to be alerted whenever I put out new videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the comments.